Hey friends, let me know if you can hear me. I'm excited. TGIF. And there we go. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. While we wait for everybody to come in, I'm going to get my candle going. But I forgot to trim the wick, so I need to do that. You gotta trim the wick, otherwise the candle starts popping all over the place. All right, there we go. I hope everyone had a fabulous week. If this was your first week going into work after the holidays, let me know. I worked the whole, throughout the whole 2 weeks, kind of, sort of. But still, it was hard when everybody came back and then, messages started coming in. It was a difficult adjustment for sure. Okay. All right. Hopefully we are live. And there's not a delay. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm excited. Today we are going to be going through the Beetlejuice deck. And I picked this up for myself over the holiday. It was a reduced price. And I mean, you couldn't beat it. It was so good. And then I had some, you know how you get points on your card? So I had some points and I ended up paying like $5 out of pocket for this deck. So I'm excited. This is an Insight Editions deck. It's pretty cool. Regular box like what you're used to. It has the little inlay for you to rest your cards, but then there's this little like lip where you set the guidebook down. Except that for some reason, this time they decided not to do a guidebook, right? They did this, which you think, okay, a pamphlet, not a big deal, but like I've never seen a pamphlet like this in my life. This just so you could get an idea, right? It would be impossible for me to open this pamphlet so that everybody look how gigantic it is. Like, who's gonna do this? And then that's the front side. Then there's a whole back side. Like, why? Why couldn't we just get like a regular book? I don't know why they did that. It's really hard. There's a lot of good information in here. So it's just a shame that they did it that way. Mia, hi, how are you? Welcome in. Thank you for being here. It's good to see you. If I could remind everybody, please, as they're coming in, please remember to like the video. That really helps. And then if you're not already subscribed, remember to subscribe and tap the little bell. I get a lot of times people saying like, oh, I didn't know, I didn't get notified. If you click on the bell, you have to click on the bell, but then you also have to go in and select all. Because if not, it defaults to personalized. And then personalized, you only get notifications sometimes. So it's not the same. All right, you're doing new art for your channel. That's amazing. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you're doing that, Amia. a little sip and we'll get started. So, I don't know if you've seen this movie. It's been a while since I've seen it. And sorry, there's something on my lip. It's bothering me. I can't even see. Okay. Anywho, it's been a long time since I've seen this movie. And I watched it today. And it's just such a good time. Like, of course, technology has changed so much since they just, since they came out with this movie. So you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? But still, like, I can't help it. I have like this soft spot for that movie. So I'm excited. Here, we can see this is the full card, and they're about to meet Beetlejuice for the very first time. They've been warned, but they don't listen. So I'm going to set that aside there. And then we had this guy as the magician. I already forgot his name. I can't remember if he's Oslo or Osho. I think it's Oslo. He's like, I don't know, part decorator, part, mystic, part a little bit of everything. But definitely a person who tries to get things to go, their way. I'm going to look in this ridiculous guidebook and see if I could follow along in here. All right. Otho. That was his name. All right. So let me put that there. His name was Otho, and he was a piece of work. This guidebook is so disjointed. If anyone has this deck and you've figured out what to do with the guidebook, please let me know, because this is annoying. Hi, Izzy. How are you? Welcome in. All right, so there was the magician. And then I think it's interesting. For the high priestess, we see the book from the movie, right? The handbook for the recently deceased. Sosa Ribeiro. Hi, how are you? Canada, Romania, Russia. Okay, but your last name sounds Portuguese or Brazilian. International, maybe? International? Welcome in. Hi, Indigo. Thanks for dropping in. Then we have card number 3, the Empress. I thought that was curious that they chose her. She was the counselor in the movie. And then we have the Father as the Emperor. I thought that was a little bit weird, right? Because usually the Empress and the Emperor are like a couple, but they're not a couple. In fact, she's dead and he's alive. So I thought that was a little bit strange, but it makes sense. I wish they hadn't put him in a suit though, because I don't think we ever see him in a suit the whole movie. I think like he's so happy to get out of that business world that he can't wait to just be lounging around in comfortable clothes. Happy New Year's to you too, Izzy. Thank you. I hope everyone's having a wonderful start to their new year. We have card number 5, the Hierophant. I had to think twice because I was like, who is this character? I don't remember this guy. In fact, to me, it looked like E.T. a little bit. But this is the Reverend that comes to marry them at the end of the movie. So we have the Hierophant. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Try to get my piles going here. And then, of course, we have Barbara. And what was her husband's name again? Adam. Barbara and Adam as the lovers. I mean, you remember that scene from the movie. Hello, Chris. How are you? Bonsoir, madame. Bonsoir, monsieur. And then the Chariot. Except this is like that. I don't know. I feel like the car could have been. I mean, it's great for the Chariot, but it could have been a lot of different cards. Like this could have been the Tower. This could have been the Death card. This could have been a lot of things. Don't say it. Don't say it. I kind of struggled with this as the Strength card. So if you remember in the movie, this is a piece of art that the lady, what was the lady's name? The wife, the Dietz's. What was her name? That was a piece of art that she had done. We'll use the word art loosely. And Delia, that was her name, Delia. And then at the end of the movie, it takes a life of its own, and it traps everybody in place. Sorry, I'm trying to make out what to do with this darn guidebook. It's just completely in the way. Yeah. And at the beginning of the movie, if you remember, they're using that like lift outside to try to get it into the house, and then it traps Delia, and she's like, someone could have been killed. You just don't know how strong you are. I love this. I don't consider this guy a hermit, but it's funny, I think. The Hermit is that card about like kind of separating yourself from society, from the noise, and kind of doing a little bit of introspection and uh, following your own light, right? For some people, they may not even have access to their light at that point, so they have to find a way to connect with their own inner light. And I just love that this is the guy with the shrunken head as the idea of going within. Small head, yeah. Like going within. This movie is awesome. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune. And this is when they finally say his name 3 times and he comes out and he's just in full glory. I love that it was that, the carousel on top of his head. I still can't believe it. Like, looking at this movie and checking out like the characters, they've just, wow. They were so young at that time, and they were so good. And some of the characters, like the not the father, the husband, Adam, like I couldn't believe um that is what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. But there are so many people in that movie that I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like um the girl's father was the principal from Ferris Bueller. Do you remember that? And then the mother, I always remember her from Home Alone. Here's the Justice card. At first I was like, I don't remember this, but this is when the food comes to life. She has supposedly made, I don't know if there was lobster tails or I can't remember if it was hey Kevin, how are you? If it was lobster tails or it's supposed to be like shrimp cocktail, but it comes to life and it grabs her face. So we have that. The Hangman. This is the guy that greets them when they first, cross over. Just hanging around. He had been run over by a car, so he was flat. And he goes, I'm feeling a little flat today. He was making jokes at his own expense. I don't know if I remember that. Oh, wait a minute. This is the death card. But I'm like, I don't know if I remember this guy. Is this when, they do the seance and bring him back and he starts to age? I can't remember. I cannot remember. Okay. Temperance. I kind of like this for Temperance. This is when she's like looking at wallpaper samples. And it's like she's in that spot where, she hasn't yet come to terms with the fact that they're sharing the house and she doesn't want to have to share the house, but she's trying to make the best of it by trying to continue her life as it was in that moment. So I kind of get that for Temperance. I feel like they did try hard. Is it the teller who gives the ticket, number 13? Oh, maybe. What does the guidebook say? It says, okay, the guidebook says, think of the lost soul's room as a repository for life's phases. This is where outdated versions of you go to die, freeing up your energy for better pursuits. That's pretty much all that it says. So it could be, I need to go back and watch again. I need to go back. I'm like, why aren't there they go. Okay. Like the comments stopped moving and I was like, what's happening? Okay. This was funny. This is the devil card. And she tells him, like, why did you put that there? He's like, I didn't. Beetlejuice when he goes. Oh my gosh. This is a good tower. Like, this was a good tower, the covered bridge. I remember first watching this movie and being like not catching on right away that they had died. Like I just thought, they came back. They came back to the house. I didn't realize right away. I guess that was the whole point. That was the tower of the movie. Yeah. Yeah. It's funny. I'm going to show the card again. Do you see the little sign? I don't know if you could read it. It says, come back again soon. Come back again soon. It looks a little blurry. Okay, this is going to be annoying, but give me a second. Let me clean the screen. Is that better? Sometimes I forget, and then, the oils and lotions from your hand get all over the phone, and then it makes it fuzzy. All right, so then the star card. And this was cool, right? Because she was a very dark, she was very dark, right? She dressed all in black and she would wear that veil and she wanted to kind of, take her own life at one point. And she really came to life when she met Barbara and shoot, what was the husband's name again? Thanks, Sharon. Thanks for spreading the word. Appreciate ya. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Yes, Barbara and Adam. Barbara and Adam. Why do I keep forgetting his name? Barbara and Adam. All right. And I think she came to life when she met them. And then she started trying harder at school and she really started coming around. They like come and me wanna go home. Yeah, such a great song. Such a great song. All right. The moon. That was funny. The Polaroid of the ghosts with no feet. I think that's good for the moon, right? Going with the idea of like mystery. This card was a shock to me. the Sun card. And I was like, why would they choose her? She's like a random dinner guest, the wife of somebody. But I think that they chose her because she came to the party dressed in gold. And so they tried to kind of use that as the tie-in to the Sun card. Hey Debs, how are you? Welcome in. She was dressed in gold for the party. No, she was a little bit overdone. It says, be the gold jumpsuit that you want to see in the world. I think that's hilarious. Be the gold jumpsuit that you want to see in the world. Everyone should be a gold. Everyone should have a gold jumpsuit, in my opinion. That would have been very 80s. Like the show. Do you remember Solid Gold? They used to wear that. It's a little windy today, but great day. Yesterday was a gift. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. It's been a little bit warmer here. Not in the evenings. It cools down a little bit in the evenings, but during the day, like today when I stepped outside, you could feel the humidity. It just like came at you, and oh, it felt awful. But I think Sunday or Monday the temperatures are gonna dip again. So I'm excited about that. I'm old. Izzy, you're not old. Solid Gold. I remember that show. I used to love that show. The Judgment card. You guys remember this character? He was the voodoo guy. He was probably the one that shrunk the other guy's head with his magic dust. So him as Judgment is hilarious. I like that. X, 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 X. There. And BDBGP. I said it without messing it up. How you doing? I said it without messing it up. How are you? We're looking at, let me see. Today we're looking at the Beetlejuice deck. And this is the World card. You remember this weird hallway with all the doors that took them to like no place at all? That was such a weird spot. We have the King of Wands. And I was like, why? I was like, why would they use like a cockroach? Hi, Ascending. I didn't see you come in. How are you? But this is actually like Beetlejuice is trying to tell the girl, Lydia, so he cannot tell her what his name is, but he needs somebody to say his name 3 times. So he's trying to play what's that game where you get people to kind of guess what you're trying to say? And he plays that game and he shows up like this. And then she guesses beetle. So I guess this is a beetle. So they chose that for the King of Wands. And then this is the mother with her crazy art as the queen. Hi, Kinza. I'm going to be doing readings, but I'm going to be doing readings like in a while, maybe around 6 o'clock. So probably in about 30 minutes because I'm still going through the deck, okay? Deb, I saw a window sticker on a truck. If big beige stink bug, not an exterminator. I feel like pest control people have like the best advertisements on their cars or trucks. They always make me laugh. Okay. The knight is, the serpent, the sand serpent. And the page of wands. I think this is the one that Chris was talking about. She was waiting for her turn in line. Here's the mother again as the ace. I guess because this is where she's going in and marking up all the walls, deciding like what, what she's going to do in each of the rooms. It's good to see you, Ascending Universal Butterfly. It's been a little while. Sharon Charles, hi, how are you? And Kevin, I think I said hi to Kevin earlier, and Izzy is hanging out. The Two of Wands is when she finds the handbook and she starts to explore. This is the best, the Three of Wands, when Beetlejuice goes and he gets his ticket. And he's like 9 million something or other. There was a movie that was a huge bug on a van, Ghostbusters. It could have been Ghostbusters. I can't remember. I can't remember. Here's the Four of Wands, the happy dance at the end. I think that's so cool. They kind of got, their life came to an end abruptly, but they kind of got their happy ending. I think that's cool. It's been so busy. I get it, Ascending. It has been busy. And I feel like the only reason I've been keeping my head above water is because work has been slow, which has helped me to get some other things done, like off to the side. This is funny, the Five of Wands. So, fives are conflicts. So this is them trying to figure out how they could scare the people out of their house. This book comes out in this deck so many times because everybody is just trying to figure out what this book is all about. It makes no sense whatsoever. I didn't even think about this, that the husband, Alec Baldwin, that's who plays this guy, Adam. I couldn't believe it. Didn't look anything like him. I could not place him. Like, I remember that Gina Davis played the mother, the wife. I could not believe that it was Alec Baldwin. And then Lydia, of course, was Winona Ryder. And the mother was the mother from Home Alone. And then the father was the principal from Ferris Bueller. They're so fun. But I didn't realize that he's wearing a plaid shirt. So he wears black and white shirt the whole entire time. And Beetlejuice wears black and white stripes. I think that's funny. Let me see. Making all the rounds. And Desiree she's gonna be here in a little while, and she's working still. She is closing out the month, so she's wrapping everything up at work, and then she'll join us. All right, so this is 5, the 7, the 7 of Wands. Seven of Wands is that card of like protecting your boundaries, protecting your energy, and then here's the crane coming towards the house. And then the house is such an eyesore because it's out in the middle of the countryside. After, all of the quote unquote work that they did to it. This scene was funny. The 8 of Wands. The 8 of Wands. But in the movie, it's like this. For the dinner party. Where he shows up for the dinner party. The 8 of Wands. That's fast moving energy. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, right? Because he slithers in pretty quick. That makes a lot of sense. I have to connect the scene and the card with the meaning to see if it makes sense. The Nine of Wands. They're at their last, you know, or they think they're at the end of their rope and they need to figure out a way. So he draws the door on the wall. And this card is a little unclear. It's one of the very, very few. The Ten of Wands. It's like a foot coming in. That shoe is just like, what is that? Because it's daytime. There's one scene in the movie where they're in the attic and the parents go upstairs to confront the ghosts and they hide outside of the window and they're kind of dangling. But that's the only thing that I saw that could potentially match this. I don't know. This one is a toughie. This one is the Ten of Wands. I'm just curious if this ridiculous pamphlet says anything about that. Let me see. I gotta flip it to the other side and start from the other end. No. This is, by the way, this is the guidebook. Can you believe that this is what they did? It's insane. All right. So, Ten of Wands. Like everyone's favorite medium, you're taking on an excessive amount of work. Even though this is temporary, you're making things very hard on yourself. Is it really necessary? Sometimes front-loading labor can be a means to an end. Examine your motives before you get stuck. I mean, that makes sense, but it doesn't make sense with the art. It doesn't make sense with the art. I'm going to leave that open just in case we need that again. All right. Then here we have them as, at least the characters show up lots of times in different cards. So this is the King of Cups. No guidebook. That crazy thing that I showed you, that's their guidebook. That's what came in there. So it's like a crazy pamphlet with printing on both sides. And then they shove this into the deck. I don't know why they did that. This is literally the worst part about this whole thing because really the deck was really well done. But then they did this, which is pretty nuts. All right. So I showed you the king. All right, so this makes sense. I like how they did this. The king and the queens are couples, with the exception of one suit. Most of them are couples. So here we have them both, which I thought was cute. Yes, I feel like they did cut corners. They made it color, like the whole thing. Like if you were going to do all that, you might as well just done a proper guidebook. Like I don't know why they did that. The king and queen. This is funny for the Knight of Cups. Remember that scene with that horrible 80s prom suit, tuxedo? And then the page was the football team. Coach, coach, your coach is alive. Your coach survived. I like this for the Ace of Cups. This is at the end of the movie where she's rushing home to share her good news, the good grade that she got on the test. That's pretty cool. And the stepmother at the end, Delia. She's found her new muse, Beetlejuice. She's making a Beetlejuice, I don't know, sculpture. I thought this was funny that they made the Three of Cups the dinner party. But I guess it makes sense. And then the Four of Cups. is this guy. I want to say that this was the guy that kept smoking. And so every time he inhaled, the smoke came out of his body. And the Five of Cups. When they first realize that they're ghosts, they don't have a reflection, and she bounces the little horse in front of the mirror and realizes that only the horse is in the mirror, not her. Her reflection isn't there. I thought that was cool. They did really good choices for this. This guy is in the movie for like 30 seconds, but I think it's perfect for the Six of Cups. Because Six of Cups is about reminiscing. And remember in the beginning of the movie, he runs out to the store. That's how the accident happens. They go to get something from the store, and the barber is outside, and he starts reminiscing all by himself. But I think that's perfect for that card. Then here, Seven of Cups. This is interesting. Seven of Cups is the card of like choices or decision, like overwhelm. And I think this is when they get back and they're soaking wet because the car went, the car crashes into the water, and they're not really sure what they're doing. It's not perfect, but it's not terrible. Then the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is the card of walking away. And this is when they decide, like, we've decided that we're not gonna try to scare you out of the house. We're just gonna live together. And then this is hilarious. The Nine of Cups. When the dad is just chilling out in Adam's office, having he was desperate for peace and quiet. He just wanted to relax. He wanted to get away from the hustle and bustle. He wanted to get away from like his corporate job, and he just wanted to relax. I love that. Aww. The Ten of Cups. They had so many plans. They were so cute. Here's another couple. So we have the King and Queen of Swords. So this was like the mother and father, right? The Dietzes. That was the Dietzes. I feel like, is Beetlejuice the knight in every single thing? Because here he is as the knight again. He really could be the knight of anything. Hi, Victor. How are you? It's good to see you. We're looking at Beetlejuice today. He's the knight. And the page is the money bags from the movie. The guy they're trying to convince to do the investment. The Page of Swords. And then the Ace. Okay. Ace of Swords. When he's working on his little village in the attic. That was really cute. That's I feel like that would be a cool hobby, like model building. The Two of Swords. Two of Swords is like making a choice. She wants to get in. They want to keep her out. They have to make the conscious decision whether or not they're going to include her. Because at this point, they realize that she can see them. They're adorable. This is hilarious for the Three of Swords. Because just before this, she writes that ridiculous letter where she's like saying goodbye to the world, and she just, she wants to be with them. So good. Millie, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. We're looking at Beetlejuice. Four of Swords is the card of rest. And I think this is when they're trying to scare her, but Lydia tells them don't bother because she took Valium. Here's the letter. The Five of Swords. She says, I am alone. And then she scratches it out and she starts again and she says, I am utterly alone. Oh my gosh. It's so good. The Nine. There they are. Nine of Swords. The Nightmare card because they're like, what is happening here? The Ten of Swords. I was trying to understand this, but so the Ten of Swords is like, you're done. The end. And it's at the end when Beetlejuice takes over and he strips him um of his outfit and puts him in this white outfit instead and makes him perform a dance against his will. So I feel like that's pretty cool for the Ten of Swords. That was Oslo. Oslo. Oh no, that was the seven. Seven. Hold on. Seven of Swords. Trickster energy. That makes sense. Then we have the Eight of Swords. And it's when he becomes the snake. Trista, hi. How are you? It's good to see you. We're going through dun 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 Beetlejuice. We're going through the Beetlejuice deck. Alright, so then we have, let's see, Nine of Swords. That's the Nightmare card. So remember, they are trapped inside their house, and every time they try to take a step outside, they end up here. And then when they're here, they're kind of like in a void. They don't like that. This one, Ten of Swords. I guess, because at this point, she just wants to end it. She wants to end it all because she doesn't want to be with her father and stepmother. She wants to be with Barbara and Adam. She wants to be with them. Then this is the King and Queen of Pentacles, and this is another couple right there. He was like the person that they were hoping would invest in their crazy idea. King and Queen. This is, I don't know if Chris is still here. I think this is the card that he was talking about. Knight of Pentacles. She was the receptionist. I always thought she was funny. Oh no, so I thought Beetlejuice was the knight in all of the suits, but no, because she's the knight here. All right. And then the page is this random girl. She didn't have very much screen time. And now we're on the Pentacles. This is at the beginning. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. The Two of Pentacles. He wants so badly to come out of that little place and join them. He's just wrecking everything. The Three of Pentacles, working together to build something more beautiful, I guess, depending on how you think about it. And then, Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles is like when you're trying to like keep your resources to yourself. And this is, you know, in the beginning, the whole point of the movie is that they're on vacation. They've decided to take a 2-week vacation. They're going to stay home and they're going to work on their house. So they're going to have a staycation. But the neighbor keeps, I don't know if that's the neighbor. I'm not really sure who she is, but she keeps showing up to their house and they have to keep, you know, telling her, you know, no, we're on vacation, so please respect that. So let me see. How many goes there? The comments are not here. There we go. Okay. And then we have the five of Pentacles, the card of being left out. Yeah, that makes sense. He is left out. I don't feel bad for him though. He brought it upon himself. The Five of Pentacles. And then, oh, this is interesting. Okay, Six of Pentacles, give and take. He runs into the store in the beginning of the movie and there's nobody tending the register, so he, you know, takes what he needs, he leaves money in the till and he takes off. So I kind of like that. Seven of Pentacles. So that's the idea of like waiting for your reward, like trying to have patience and waiting to see if you could reap the rewards of all of your hard work. So they're trying to scare the Dietzes out of the house, so she puts herself in the closet, but they don't see her. And they originally act horrified, but it's because they think the closets are too small. Has nothing to do with her being there. And then, let's see, the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. Shoot. Eight of Pentacles. Oh, the apprenticeship. The card of the apprenticeship. So they have to kind of learn how to be dead, how to be ghosts, how to scare people, how to use their talents. And it's not easy. They get frustrated. They keep wanting to go back and get advice and get tips and pointers. But they're like, listen, you're going to waste your tokens, so to speak. If you keep coming back here, you have to read the book and you have to figure it out and you have to practice. They tell them that like hundreds of times. You have to practice. They really did a good job choosing. Like, I'm in love with the Clueless deck from last week, but I feel like for this deck, they did an incredible job of choosing scenes. There's only one card that doesn't make any sense at all, but the rest are pretty cool. The Nine of Pentacles, you know, that's like the wish fulfillment card. And here he is when he's like offering that chocolate bar, Dagna or whatever it is. He's offering the chocolate bar to the fly in the hopes that he could, you know, lure him closer. And then the last card, the Ten of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, Millie, last week we did Clueless and we had such a good time. It was hilarious because I have that movie memorized. So like I just had such a good time with that one. This one is pretty good too though. I'm impressed with this one. So I didn't realize right away that this is their store. Maitland Hardware. That was their last name, the Maitlands. So that was their little hardware store and they took a 2-week vacation. But they wanted to, you know, take some time to kind of fix up their own place. So they were DIY type of people. Constance, I'm in and out, but nice deck. Okay, thank you, sweetie. Thanks for dropping in. And that's it. That is the fabulous and amazing deck. True to Inside Editions, it's like fat cardstock. But you know, Clueless shuffled better than I thought. And Nightmare Before Christmas, which is the same company, that one broke in really nice over time. So, you know, we'll see how this one does. It's pretty thick. you know, I'll show you. Like, you see how fat that is? And for comparison, I'm going to show you this for comparison. So you can kind of see why I'm telling you it's a big one. Hold, please. It's a chunky monkey. So do you see the difference? Do you see how fat this deck is compared to this? Like, it's, gosh, it's like I don't know, 40% smaller. It's a sizable difference. I forgot my finger was covering. It's a huge difference. So yeah, this deck is super easy to shuffle. This one is super, super thick. So this is the kind of deck that, like, when you're shuffling it, it like cuts into your fingers. So you really have to work to break it in. I like heavy cardstock with the gilded edges. Girl, I love shiny edges like this. They're so, oh, so pretty. And you know, it used to be that the gilded edges was something that only came on indie decks, but that's not true. Because let me see. This is an Oracle deck. And this is mass market. Oh, never mind. I thought this was the one. This one is not gilded edges, but I'm starting to see some decks that are mass market that are coming with the gilding. Some people say that the gilding cuts their fingers. And I've seen people mod decks to remove the gilding. You know, they sand it right off. I'm like, what? How could you do that? I love the gilding. Hey, Karen Suki, how are you? Yes, expensive decks with the gold trimming, $100 and up. Delicate, yes. Yes, like you have to be really mindful about. This is why you see so many people that are like, oh, this is my soul deck and I need a backup copy of it, because people shuffle their cards, you know, pretty hard. And then the cards, you know, get messed up. So then they need a backup copy. I don't like to have backup copies. Oh, with big text. Double check that autocorrect didn't make that awkward. I get you, Trista. Yeah, in books too, and leather back. Oh, I know, like a book with gilded edges. Like, that's fancy. That's fancy. But yeah, there's a lot of mass market. Rockpool is putting out a lot of decks now with the gilding, and it's pretty cool. Love Inquiry deck is almost done for. I know you shuffle pretty aggressively too. I'm like, whoa, you shuffle hard. But that's because some people read only the cards that fly out. So they're looking for jumpers, right? So that you need them. You need them to do that so that you could get the cards. This is my first time giving this deck a shuffle, and it's a big one, so I'm going to shuffle it for a minute until I get it organized. How's everybody doing today? How was your week? Tell me everything. Oh my God, I love to sniff. I sniff decks too. This one it has a paper smell, but sometimes the ink is really, really strong and it has a terrible smell. But most of my decks don't smell like that. But periodically you get one that is like, ugh. Or you get a previously loved deck, and then when you receive it, you realize that the person who used it before was a smoker. Did you change the time that you were going on? Oh, I usually go on at 6, but these last few weeks it's been kind of slow. And so then I have been changing it to come in a little bit earlier. 555. Hi, Desiree. How are you? She is here. The Queen. The Queen is here. Thank you for coming in. I just did the whole deck flip through. I think only one person came in and they, I told them they could come back in 30 minutes because I was still just kind of going through the deck. But you just clocked out. Good for you. It's been pretty nice today. Last week was, I don't know, I got caught up in the algorithm and things got like out of control and there were a lot of, yes, I have it open, Desiree. I have it open. Yeah, so last week was pretty wild. It was hard to keep up with everything. I see you. Victor. Victor, you have Boyo this weekend? I'm so happy for you. I was thinking about that today. I'm sure you must have missed them. I'm sure. Ta. The emojis are so cute. Judy in the skies. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is a Boyo weekend. Yay, good. I'm glad. Do you have big plans? I hope so. Thank you, Desiree. I love these. I've had these for a little bit. Judy in the Sky is another tarot reader, and you guys might know her because she goes live a lot with Linda Butterfly. Butterfly readings with Linda. Butterfly kisses. No, butterfly readings. These earrings, they have like little like leaves. See? So I like when they have a little bit of movement. They're cute. Yeah. Fun, fun, fun. Yes, we know Judy. Good. I'll make sure that everyone is connected. Everybody is connected. All right, this deck. Ooh, it's shuffling nicer and nicer. It doesn't take long for this cardstock to break in. They're catching the light. Oh, good. Oh, because I have a candle. Maybe that's what it is. I haven't turned on my night sky yet because it was still like daylight. You guys, I have not taken down my Christmas decorations yet. Beautiful. All right, this deck is ready, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Let's pull a couple of cards and see what we get. I feel like we need to have cards. We need to be doing readings so that people realize that that's what we're doing today. So, for any lurkers, any new folks to the channel, thank you for being here. Thanks for stopping in. And we are doing readings. We're doing readings today. And I gotta turn on. Hold on. Where did it go? Here. Right there. I'm gonna turn on the timer. Boop. All right. That way, if anybody wants a reading, please be sure to put it in caps. Let Desiree know. Desiree tracks for me behind the scenes so that I can, because last week was super hard. It was so busy that I saw Desiree telling me we should switch to the document. We should switch to the document, but I didn't see it in that at the time, and so it was just insanity trying to keep up with all the readings. You've been humming Christmas songs all month. So I finally like went outside and unplugged everything, but like inside the house it's still Christmas. Like the tree is plugged in, like I'm like, whatever, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. All right. So what do you think? Let's ask, what message does the deck have for me? I'll say, what message does the deck have for me? Ooh. I feel like this deck is gonna be even though like a lot of the colors are muted, I feel like there's a lot of bright cards in this deck too, so it'll do nice spreads, I think. Beautiful. I have little lights all year, but for Christmas I go multicolor and flash. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like how Insight Edition decks, even though they're thicker and it's harder, it shuffles really nicely and the cards come out nicely too. All right, so give me a minute and I'm gonna process what I'm seeing here. Gorgeous. So here we have the Eight of Cups. And I was saying earlier that, right, the Eight of Cups is the card of kind of walking away from something and starting over. But for me, like when I'm looking at this card, really it's more of a release, is what I'm seeing. Like this is the part of the movie where they let go of the idea that they need to continue um pretending to be ghosts, and they're gonna stop trying to spook them out or scare them out of the house. They just want to live in peace with this family, right? This is the determination that they have come to. So we have that. It's like this message of, you know what? I'm tired of fighting back. I'm ready to just let it go and just open myself up to whatever happens. Whatever happens, happens. And so I'm seeing that message. And then we have the Knight of Cups. This Knight of Cups isn't isn't very, yes, it is Millie. I'm just kind of reading the energy of the deck and just kind of seeing how the cards spread and its initial thoughts. I always like to do a reading at the beginning. So I think what I said was like, what message does this deck have for me as I move forward with it? So that was my question. And so we have the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is like, that's that energy of like wearing your heart on your sleeve, except that in this case, he's coercing her. He's coercing her. So it's interesting because the first card is like, let it go. And then the second card is, you're going to do what I want you to do. So there's like an impasse. Page of Pentacles. I feel like that's how this deck is going to be. It's going to be, it's going to help you make decisions or see both sides of the coin, right? See both sides of the story and make decisions from a place of from a calm and sound mind, where you're completely grounded in your choices. You're curious, right? Curious to explore the pros and the cons, but then you can make a decision from a solid place. So I kind of like that as the initial reading from this deck. I think it's going to be good. We'll put it to the test and see what happens. Hey, Hua Hassan, how are you? Welcome back. It's good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, if there's anybody that wants a card or you have a question, I have a new deck I think you would love, love, love. Ooh, The Wild and Sacred Feminine deck by Nikki Duarte and Elizabeth Marglin. Ooh, so Desiree, can you pop that into the little document so I can look that up a little bit later? I would love to take a look at that. It sounds like an oracle deck. Oh, have a tiny emergency. Be right back. Okay, no problem. So hold on. Karen Suki, let me grab your comment and move it over here. I don't want to mess up. Desiree created this really nice document for me because the readings get out of control. There. I got it. I got it. So yeah, we'll see. It's a good reader. Let me see. Christine Fryer, hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Love and light, love and light. Wawa Hassan. Karen Suki Oracle deck. Be sure to read the intro in the book and read a couple cards in the book. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So I'm going to put my cards back in. I like this deck. I like this deck. I like how it reads. Michael Stevens. Hey, how are you? Welcome back. It's good to see you. Nice to see you too. All right, giving the deck a shuffle. So far, we have 0 people on the wait list from what I could tell. So if you have a question, now would be a good time. Now would be a great time. Mobile typing is a pain. Oh my gosh, tell me about it. And you can't like at people. It's so hard. And then it moves pretty quick and it's really hard to keep up with things. Thank you. I prefer my mobile. Oh, wow. I feel like Desiree's really good on mobile. I don't know how she does it. Michael, you have a question. Okay, go ahead. What is your question? I don't have a list right now, so drop your question in and I'm happy to read for you. Wave. And while we're waiting for Michael, if anybody else has a question, feel free to drop it in. It's always slow to start, and then after that, it's like full-on chaos. Mentor. Okay. Will me and my yoga mentor have a one-on-one session class? I see. Michael Stevens. So that's a yes/no question. That's a yes/no question. I'll pull a card and see. The tarot really isn't all that amazing for yes/no, but you know, we could see what the deck says. Ace of Pentacles. That's a new beginning. I mean, that could be a yes. I guess it depends. What is the nature of this? Like, are you looking to have more one-on-one instruction, like to correct your posture during the poses? Or is it a different interest? I don't swipe, they can swipe fast. Oh, I tried swiping and I finally just had to shut that off on my phone because like I'm horrible at that. I think you're right though. I think Desiree is from a different genre. All right, Debs, I see yes to correct your posture. Now, Michael, is the reason that you're asking, is it because I'm guessing, I don't know. I'm guessing that it's probably more expensive to do a one-on-one than it is to go to like a yoga class. Is that what it is? All right. Debs, I'm going to grab your question and put it over here. How do you know? Because anytime, you know, I've never done that, right? Like yoga one-on-one, but I know what it's like to go to the gym and work out by myself, and I also know what it's like to pay for a trainer to do my workout with me and take me to all the things and track my progress and tell me when it's time to do my increases or correct my positions when I'm working with certain weights. And you know, it's a service. Like, you're definitely paying more for that. And you know, it's very nice. It's great, but it's not always like affordable. Yes, I agree. I had a trainer at the gym for about a year and it was amazing. I had less injuries, but also if I got injured, then the trainer was able to help me get back up to speed quickly, which was really cool. It's nice to work with, but it's, you know, it's a lot of money. It's not cheap. So I would imagine that it's the same thing with yoga. It's just like meditation. Like, if you could go and do a group meditation, and you know, it's one amount, but then like if you want a one-on-one where they're only focused on you, then you know, you pay for that. Oh my gosh, Debs. Elizabeth's voice almost put me to sleep. It's so calming. You know, I put myself to sleep sometimes, right? Like, I'll film videos and then I go back to the editing process, and then when I hear my own voice, like, I fall asleep. Victor just read what I swiped. Mm-mm-mm. Those are less, but instruments included like drums. Yeah. Yep. Beautiful. All right. So, Debs, I'm going to pull cards for you. Do I restart my dog business this year? Will it be good? Should I? Maybe it's should I? I don't know. I was fortunate that the trainer was just starting out and a classmate of my sister's. Yes. Yes, because in the beginning, they need to start somewhere, so they charge cheaper until they get their clientele going, right? It looked good for him to be busy, and you got a great rate. That's amazing. All right. So, Debs, let me see what I got for you here. Linda, hi, how are you? Chip, how are you, friend? It's good to see you. Chip. I replayed your latest edition of the magazine. I'm waiting for a card, Debs. There it is. Oh my goodness gracious. Advice. Interesting. Desi said that she had a little mini emergency, so she said she'll be right back. All right, Debs. So, should you restart the business? Should you restart the business? We have the 10 of Wands. And I feel like, hi Isha, how are you? Welcome in. I feel like this card kind of depends, right? It depends how you look at this. It could be like, is somebody sneaking in the window or is somebody sneaking out of the window? This is a 10, right? So this is the end of a long journey, and perhaps you have been giving the business a break in order to figure out how you could possibly restart or start fresh, right? And maybe like put into practices some of the things that you've learned from the first go around. So I asked for a clarifying card, and we have the Magician. And so, for me, I feel like the Magician is saying, you have what it takes. You may not realize it, but you have what it takes to make it happen if this is something that you really and truly want to do. But you really have to be on top of the things that you have, but also the things that you don't have, and make sure that you put everything into place, right? The Magician is all about being at the right place at the right time, knowing their resources, and resources could include help, right? Resources could include, well, maybe this is not something that I could do right now, but if I had help from this other person, I could do that at that time. So this energy is kind of suggesting that maybe you do give it a try. And then I asked for advice for you, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. Aces are new beginnings, and I think it's super, super, like look at the beauty of this reading. The first card is a 10, right? If you reduce the 10, 1 plus 0, that's 1. Then you have the Magician Major Arcana card number 1. Then you have the Ace of Pentacles, which is another 1. All 3 cards are 1s. I'm just saying. I feel like you should just give it a whirl. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so let me see. It makes sense because I'm looking for a location to bake, so I'd be going out of the window if That's hilarious. Thank you for telling me that. I love that so much. I'm looking for a location to bake, so I'd be going out of the window if this home. I love it. I feel like I can. Planning, no hurrying. That's amazing. I love that so much for you. That's awesome. Love that. And angel number, yeah, 111. 111 for you, my friend. Beautiful message. Isha, can I have a free reading? I really need to ask a question if possible. Yes, Isha, I'm going to put you on the list. Give me a second. There, I think I'm doing this right. I can't let Desiree down. All right. So, Isha, I put you on the list. Judy, I just finished a new red lentil soup. Fabulous. Oh, yum. Not gonna lie. It was good. I bet it was really like hearty and filling and comforting too. You caught a mouse. What? Desiree, how did that happen? Oh my gosh. Desiree, I hope I didn't screw up the list. I did a reading for, I didn't get the first guy, so okay. I did a reading for the first one. And then I did New York Debs, which I spelled wrong. I'm about to do Isha. New subscriber. Isha, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Where's my little sign? All right, I'm going to fold up this crazy pamphlet because I don't think we need this for now. I just wanted to show it because, like, I just can't even believe what they're coming to these days. Friends, anybody that's hanging out, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps us small channels get out there. We got to fight the algorithm. Got to fight the algorithm to get out there. Let me see. All right. So, Isha, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you, and I see your questions. Sandeep's current true feelings, future next action towards Ashi and separation. So, is the question about you, or is the question about Sandeep? I can ask a question for you. right? Because that sounds like a private investigator situation you got going on. It's okay. I appreciate your efforts. Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Mother-in-law Christmas. We talked about rodents in Victor's chat this morning. Oh, I was trying hard to lurk this morning and I couldn't. Okay. I bought a humane trap and I set it free in the field down the street. What? I thought they would get him before me. Okay. All right. So, Isha, let me see. Oh, you are Ashi. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay. Ashi. So, you want to know about your connection with Sandeep. Okay. And Ravi, hi, how are you? You have a question too. Okay, we'll put you on the list, Ravi. All right. So, Isha's question. Isha's question. Okay. True feelings. True feelings. Okay. So, Isha, like, I'm just gonna remind you, we're gonna do this reading. This is just like a quick energy check, right? A pulse check right now. Just because, whatever comes out in the cards right now in this moment doesn't mean this is the end all be all, right? And I'm just gonna tell you what I see in the cards. This of course could change at any moment once people make decisions or make changes or change their own path. Okay, so a card for you. Okay, a card for them. A card for advice. Wow, Magician coming up again. All right, Isha, here's what I'm going to share with you, my friend. I pulled a card for you, okay? For you, we have the Three of Pentacles. So it's kind of how I see it, right? I feel like perhaps you're really interested in cultivating something with him, something where you could kind of build and grow together, right? Kind of collaborate. Oh, happy poop. Hey, Clint, how are you? It's good to see you. So you really want to grow something with him. That makes a lot of sense. You have the number 3 here. Threes are about growth, about expansion and collaboration. The issue that I'm seeing for his energy, we have the 8 of Wands, right? It's fast moving energy, and I feel like, it's possible that he may feel your energy and he might be apprehensive, right? Maybe he's like picking up what you're putting down and possibly like saying, whoa, taking a step back and kind of assessing the situation. So it's possible maybe that it's coming on, either you're coming on strong or that he feels that you're interested, but he's not sure if he's ready to match your energy. So it could be a combination of those things, okay? Then for advice, we have the Magician, right? This, in essence, is telling me that, there's potential, there's possibility, but it's all in the approach, right? And if this is something that you're interested in pursuing, you're going to have to be able to be a really good judge of character, and you'll want to be able to kind of read his facial expressions, read their body language, and kind of see if what you're saying is too much or not enough. Like with a person like this, when they're like, you express an interest and they take a step back, You don't want to go and pull all your cards on the table because it's just going to scare them even more. So you're going to have to really be you're going to have to be smart and strategic about how you move forward with him. Maybe it's, and I'm saying him. I don't know if I don't know the genders, right? So for you and for them, you may have to be a little bit strategic. You're definitely gonna have to stay on top, but you might approach it in a friend group setting, or just try different things just to kind of let them get to know you, and also for you to get to know them better, because you don't want to overwhelm them, and it feels like they might be overwhelmed at this point. Let me know if that makes sense. Feeling parched. Ashi. Let me know if that makes sense, Ashi. Constance has been in and out. She said she was going to be in and out, and she is true to her word. He is committed to a girl. Okay, and after that, we both met. I was not knowing that he's committed to someone, so he has a lot of feelings for me, but he's confused right now. Yeah. Committed, over with her now. He's confused what he should do. Well, I mean, I'm sure this is nothing, or, I'm sure you've heard this before. What I'm going to say is, if a person is still unraveling or unpacking their situation or their feelings with another person, the timing is a little bit off, right? So you would, want to perhaps like maybe take a little bit of a step back and give them space to work out. You don't want to be like the fallback person. You don't want to give them too much space either. Like, you want them to know that you're interested. But the timing, it sounds like the timing is off. So I really feel like you're going to have to be really strategic about how you proceed with this. Because if you push too soon for too much, it might be too much for them. You could see the look on their face. Like, oh, and you don't want that. And separation from the 8th of December. But Isha, you're separated, but he was in a relationship with someone else already. So that yeah. So sorry, Isha. Sorry, Isha. Um, you're separated from December 8th, but if he was already in a previous relationship, like, they're going to have to work through all of that before they decide if they want to get back into something with you, right? Like, if he was in a serious relationship with the other person and they've ended, they will need time to work through those emotions, and then they will need to decide if they want to get back into something serious with somebody else, right? Which is why I'm saying, like, time is the issue here. 8 of Wands is about fast moving energy. Fast moving energy. So if it goes too fast, it could um, tip the scales, but not in your favor. And what you want to do is allow time for healing, time for them to have closure from the first relationship before, and think about it. You want to be fair to yourself too, right? You don't want them to step into something with you when they're not ready yet. Because what happens if they jump in right away with you, and then a month or two later they decide, you know what, I think I want to give them a shot. I think I want to give them another chance, right? You don't want to be in that situation either. Create and relate. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. Happy New Year. It's nice to see you. So yeah. So Isha, that is my advice for you. I feel like time is going to be your best friend here. And that's hard because sometimes we're not patient. We want what we want, but if this is something that you want to, Pentacles is slow energy. So if you are really looking to truly build something with this person slowly and securely over time, you're not going to want to rush it. You're going to want to take your time, and you want them to feel like they are taking their time as well. You don't want them later to come back and say, I felt pressured or I felt rushed. Does that make sense? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking for you, my dear. And hopefully that helps. I know I'm not telling you what you would like to hear, uh, but I think it's important to know, like, I tell you, like, if I'm your big sister, right? I want you to be able to move forward in a healthy way. Awesome. All right, Isha. Okay, you're right. Okay, honey. Good luck with that. Take your time. Don't rush it. If it's meant to, what you hear what people say. If it's meant to be, it's gonna happen. Things will align naturally. If you have to force it, then that is, that it wasn't in your best interest. So just hang in there and take it one step at a time. Yes. Okay, so Desiree, I saw your comment, and yes, I already did that one. And so we're up to Ravi. Ravi, are you still here? Thank you for the jewels. TGIF, everyone. TGIF. Ah, let me see. Chip is back. Chip is live. Chip, you go live a lot, man. All right. Ravi, when will I meet my future wife? Wow. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you. Okay, so we're gonna no, let's clear energy. All right. And then we're gonna read for Ravi. Ravi, are you still here, my dear? Yes. Okay. So Ravi's question was, when will I meet my future wife? Ravi, are you of marrying age? Where are you, Ravi? What country are you coming to us from today? My age 30. Okay. Jewels. I see people doing that, but I don't know what it is or how they do it. Like sometimes, like Clint, he sends like happy poop. But I don't know how they do it. I don't understand. Okay, Ravi, you're in India. Okay. So is there a chance that your family will try to set up a connection for you, or are you on your own? That's why I'm asking. Is your family going to be making a connection? Like, will it be a love marriage, or will it just be it's by the family? Okay. So getting married is really, it's kind of outside of your hands. It's until the family um finds the right connection. Okay. Oh, Vijeko Kolar, hi and welcome. Thank you for being here. Millie got caught up in the hustle and bustle. Yes, for real. Create and Relate. First of all, I have to say, I love Create and Relate's channel. And I met her, I want to say I met her on Jamie's channel. And she does a lot of like crafts, as her name would suggest. And so I immediately loved it because I think she does some really cool things. But then I noticed that she was into tarot too. And I was like, whoa, match made in heaven. So yeah, I'm happy to see you. All right. Okay, Ravi. Let me see here. Ravi says, I try to love. All my loves are failure only. Well, Ravi, because a relationship, right, it's a two-way street. So it's not, it's good when you have love in your heart for other people, but we also need the other person to express those same emotions to you. Otherwise, it would be difficult to kind of come to an agreement, right? And it could feel like that. It could feel like a failure because what if there's no connection or no, no match? So I get what you're saying. My loves are failure only. Um, it's really hard because I'm going to ask you a question, Ravi. In your case, right, your family will try to make a connection for you. And I think it's possible that you could make a connection for yourself before they make a connection. So that could add a little bit of pressure to try to make a connection just so that you could choose the person for yourself rather than your family choose the person for you. Does that make sense? So, so it's difficult. It's difficult. So in terms of your question, right, we have the two, right? This is the High Priestess. This is a major arcana card, and card is this card recommends that you take some time to connect with your own intuition in order to see for yourself what it is that you are looking for. Okay? Because if you're looking to make a match with anybody just so that you could find your person before your family, that adds pressure, right? And then you're not really matching for the right reasons. And that's why you may have experienced failure in past, is what I'm thinking, okay? So the High Priestess recommends checking in with yourself. Like, you're gonna have to sit down with yourself, find a quiet spot, reflect on what it is that you really want, and then ask yourself, what is gonna be more important to me? And you also have to think about what is within the level of expectation for you to get out of this whole thing, right? Is it likely that you are gonna connect with somebody on your own? I feel like at this point, you probably are done with school. You know, school is a great place to meet people. Then after that, you go into the workplace and it becomes a little bit more difficult to make connections with people. And so the time could be going and you may be kind of, from your parents' point of view looking in, they may feel like you're running out of time. They need to step in and make that match for you. And it's really difficult as an outsider for me to say anything about that because it's a different culture, right? What you practice and the way that you've grown up and the things that you do in your country are very different than the way that people do these things in other countries. So the priestess is asking you to connect with yourself and make sure that you're doing things in alignment with what it is that you are trying to accomplish at the end of the day. Like at the end of the day, what is the goal for you? Only you could answer that for yourself. At the end of the day, what is your goal? Because the second card that I have is the King of Pentacles. And I kind of feel like this is your father, right? Your father is the one that is kind of controlling the outcome or the future right now. And then the final card is the Ace of Swords, which suggests that it might be time. You may have to change the way that you're thinking about this whole thing and approach it differently. Because what's currently going on, like you trying to make the love match before your family makes a practical connection, might not be the best. But again, I have very limited information, so it's really hard for me to kind of give you any guidance or direction. Really, you have to connect with your own intuition in order to figure out what those things are. That's why this High Priestess is coming up here, right? Are you prepared to challenge the authority of your family and go against what they want for you? I mean, that's easier said than done. It's not even easy to say, right? Going against what the parent wants is often a very difficult, challenging thing to do. So that's why the High Priestess is coming up. Like, how far are you willing to take this? That's a question that only you could answer for yourself. If you feel like this is not a battle that I'm going to win, you may have to change how you're thinking about this whole thing. That's what I'm seeing for you. Let me know if that makes sense for you. My future wife already, I know her or knew one, or any woman that proposes to me. I mean, I don't know. Do women go around proposing over there, Ravi? I don't know. Think about what I've said, Robbie, and let me know how it works out for you. Let me know how it works out for you. Because right now I feel like there's a lot of unknowns, and some of that starts with you. And I really feel like you need to take some time to ask yourself some deeper questions, right? What is it that you really want? How far are you willing to take it? Are you willing to fight the battle? I can't answer that for you. Okay? That was a hard one. Come back, come back in a few weeks and let me know how it goes, okay? Thank you. Bishu thought. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. I got Disowned 17 years ago and cut the U.S. cords, but kept the family in Canada. They knew me when I was young. It could be freeing, and it was over 2 deaths, I believe. I healed, believe it or not. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense for me. But in that moment in time, it probably felt overwhelming to make that decision to cut ties with part of the family. So, it can be a lot. It can be overwhelming. And in the country where Robbie is in India, like, you don't have that independence to be able to do what you want to do on your own just like that. It's tough. It's tough. All right. So where am I here? Let me see. Michael Stevens. I think I read from Michael Stevens, so he may have moved on. And then create and relate. Okay, well, my stress levels decrease or increase this year. Okay. So let me read for you, but let me clear energy real quick. Okay. Today I'm using Beetlejuice because this is the deck that I did the flip through, and I'm, curious to see how it reads. A lot of people feel like these novelty decks don't read well. I found last week when I did the flip through of the Clueless deck that it read amazingly well. So, and I don't know. I don't consider Beetlejuice a Halloween movie per se. I feel like this is a deck I could use all year round with no problem. I'm telling you, this cardstock is breaking in. I thought I recognized the images. Yeah, because it's from Beetlejuice, so I kind of like it. Yeah, the culture is very, very different. So it's easy for us here to be like, well, can't you do this and can't you do that? But it's not the same when in that country. Um, and I don't want to judge and be like, oh, well, I saw a lot of movies about this and this is how it is, but because movies are exaggerated a lot of times, but unfortunately, you know, that is the custom oftentimes with marriages or connections, right? Nobody is going to want to go against the the family. It's difficult. That's right. I just saw Chip's comment. Debs, we're here for you. Yes, we are. Just be you. Just be you. All right, so we're reading for create and relate. Hi, John. How are you? How was work, my friend? All right. Holy crow. Wowzers. So there's a lot of air, the element of swords, a lot of air energy. So, that's thought and mindset. All right. So the question was, will my stress level increase or decrease? 10 of Swords. I feel like just kind of taking this card into consideration, the meaning of this card, the original meaning, and then like pulling in from the movie. I feel as though the 10 of Swords for me is like your rock bottom, right? You can no longer get lower than this point in your life. You can only move forward from here, is what I'm seeing with this card. And the 10 is an ending, which means that there's going to be a beginning after this. Now, a major arcana is coming up for you. It is the Judgment card. And this could be judgment from other people, but it could also be judgment, our own judgment, like the way that we judge ourselves for the way that we do things and don't do things. So it could be a mixture of both. But it could also, I like to give you different interpretations so that you could kind of take it in the way that you feel makes best sense for you. Here, you have the Ten of Swords, a rock bottom, an ending, right? An opportunity for something new. And then here, you have Judgment, right? You could think of this as a chance to rise from your current situation, right? It could be that as well. And like you have X here, you have double X here. Interesting, that little connection, right? So you have an ending. It hasn't been easy for you. I can tell just by this that your stress levels are probably quite high currently, and you're wanting for them to decrease. I kind of get the feeling like there's nowhere to go but up from here. This judgment could be two things. It could be reminding you to cut yourself some slack. You're doing the best that you can with your situation. And it could also be a reminder that people are gonna do what people do. Sometimes people, they pass judgment. They pass judgment. And, in essence, they make things harder for others. But I feel like it's gonna be on you to explore a different possibility or a different outcome, because we have the Page of Swords. And a page, I mean, this is fresh energy for one. It is also connected to something new, a beginning, because it's the very first court card. So you have that fresh energy coming in, but also when you think about pages, um, they're very they are very curious. They want to learn, they want to absorb, they want to do things different. They see other people and they want to try it themselves too. And so I feel like this is for you an invitation to really think about the way that you're showing up here, like what brought you to this point, and then do it different. Do it different. But you have to kind of come to terms with whatever it is that added to that stress. I'm kind of feeling like this is the card in the middle, the Judgment card, and I kind of feel like this is what is standing in between where you are right now and where you want to be in the future. For me, like up this page would be someone who is making a new game plan, perhaps vision boarding, goal setting, uh, mind mapping, different outcomes, different plans, different things that you can do to see if you have a different outcome, right? Like they say, if you want to create change in your life, you cannot do everything the same every single day. You can't do everything the same every single day and expect change. So this Page of Swords is coming in to remind you to be a little bit more curious about your situation, because there's a different way. There's a different way. There's other things. There's an opportunity to explore with this energy and to learn, because I feel like that is a big part of the Page of Swords, particularly, is learning new things, learning new ways. You know how they say that if at first you don't succeed, try again. That's kind of what I get from here. Let me know how that comes through for you. All right, I'm going back in the chat. Okay, Millie's heading out. All right. Bye, Millie. Thanks for coming in. I think, okay, so Create says, I think it's more cut myself some slack. Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like I saw a video about this recently where the person that was putting the video out was kind of like uh comparing what other people were doing to where they were. She was kind of reminding people like you shouldn't be out doing all these things because we're in the winter season and this is the time that we're supposed to be slowing down and retreating within ourselves. This is not spring where you're out doing goals, doing this, doing that, doing the other. But every person's practice is their own. We're all individuals and our timelines are all different. And so I kind of feel like sometimes we as people have very high expectations of ourselves. And then sometimes, sadly, we fall to the trap of comparing ourselves to other people. And that might be where some of this is coming from, this judgment energy. Zarain Hussan, hi, how are you? Or it could be Hussein. Zarain Hussein. I don't know, I probably got that wrong, so I'm sorry. And then Ascending Universal Butterfly, bye. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And Victor is lurking during dinner. Totally fine. Lurkers are welcome. Chip is saying goodbye. Chip is thinking about getting a tarot deck. No way. I'll help you. I'll help you, Chip. That's awesome. You got it right. Okay. All right, so Create, that is what I have for you. I'm all caught up with the comments, so let me know if that makes sense. Nope, I'm in the hallway. All right. Let's I'm waiting to see. Hua Hassan, are you still here? Hua Hassan was next, and then Create maybe will let me know if that reading made sense. Hua Hassan is still here. Can I have Libra next action towards me? Okay, so Libra, is this romantic? Is this work? Is this family? No problem. Thank you for letting me read for you, Create, and you're welcome anytime. And friends, please connect with my friend Create and Relate. She does awesome crafting videos, and she's really interesting. Concentrate on a new beginning for sure. Yeah. And think too, like the energy in 2026 is shifting than the energy that we were coming out of, right? We were coming out of the Hermit year, which was a period of introspection, and we're moving into the wheel, which is now there's going to be change, right? Like we took a whole year to kind of go within and figure out all these things for ourselves, and now it's time to start implementing some of these changes. So the energy, as the energy shifts, you're going to find that you're going to want to start taking action on some of these things. So I hope everything works out for you, my friend. Romantic, Wahasan. Okay, so a romantic reading. Can I have action towards me? I'm going to pull a card. Hey, Zareen. Pull a card. Card for Wahasan. Card for Wahasan. No? Okay, let's clear energy. Okay. Wahasan. Card for Wahasan. A card for this Libra person. Card for this Libra person. Okay. A card for advice. Interesting reading. And I'm just reminded that I have a love oracle. No, that's not it. Where is it? Where's the love? Where is? Right here. I'm going to pull a card from the love oracle deck too. And see what happens. Thanks for coming in and hanging out, you guys. I appreciate you. All right. Okay. Okay. Wahasan, I pulled a card for you. I pulled a card for you, and I have the Three of Pentacles right here. So, this is the card for you. This is a card of collaborating with other people, being in partnership, and working together to build something that you couldn't do on your own. This makes a lot of sense in a relationship because obviously you need the other person to participate so that you can do it together. You can't create a relationship by yourself. You need their support and their collaboration. So that is your energy, okay? Then I pulled a card for their energy. For their energy, we have a challenge card, and it's the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is about feeling a little bit lost in the world and feeling like you need help, but you're not really sure where to turn, what your options are, who can help. And a lot of times the answer is like right there before you, but they're so in their problem that it's difficult for them to see. Okay, so we have that. We have the Five of Pentacles. So I'm going to pull a clarifying card for that Five of Pentacles. So this is a card for the Libra energy. They have the Five of Pentacles challenge card. Why? Why is this card coming out? What can we know about the Libra person? We have shocking. Okay, you see a lot of dark clouds in the sky, and that's actually the sun right there, but the sun is being covered up by the clouds. The keywords are turmoil, trouble, unexpected. So right now, I don't think that they're in the best place. Okay. I don't think that they're in the best place to make a romantic connection at this time. They're going through a lot of things right now. And they could possibly right now, what they could use the most is a friend. And then I pulled a card for both of you for advice. What I got is the Fool card. And you know, the Fool card is a new beginning, and it's a reminder to kind of start fresh, no expectations, just kind of go with the flow, see what happens, take a chance, you know, maybe a little bit of a risk, and see how it goes. The Fool card. Karen. Okay. Hassan, is this person close to you or far from you? Is this a long distance thing? Life is not fair. Okay, I feel like I'm missing something in the chat. Hassan. Hassan. Long distance. I'm not even lying to you. That's what came out. Distance. Okay. Separation, space, and blockage. So that is coming up with this card here, perspective. Karatsuki. You guys are too much. Okay, perspective. Okay. Better off, happiness, clear, headspace. Okay. I mean, this is big. I wasn't expecting, I don't know why. I wasn't expecting it to be this clear and this direct, okay? So for you, we had the Three of Pentacles. For them, we had the Five of Pentacles. Notice, Pentacles, Pentacles, both are earth energies, right? They don't seem to be in the right mind space to receive your energy because they're going through a difficult time right now. And sometimes when you're going through a hard time, whether it's like related to finances or to work or to family or to health, it's difficult to think about something romantic at that time because you're preoccupied with everything else that's going on. And so the advice that is coming through is you need perspective, and you need to possibly create a little bit of distance in order to give them the space that they need to prepare. And we have the Fool card. So maybe you're hoping for this to be romantic, but maybe with this Fool card, what it's saying is you might want to try something different and offer a friendship. Because right now, if they're in this energy, this Five of Pentacles, and they're feeling like this is what they might, you know, they might need this more than anything right now is a friend, someone that will be there for them, listen to them, give them a shoulder to cry on, support. So that is what I'm thinking. That is why this Fool card is coming up, because it's saying you might want to take a chance and offer friendship instead of romance, because that is how you develop this feeling of like collaboration. And in the process, like when people are working together closely together on something, you get to know them in a completely different way, right? And it builds it will either build the friendship or build like, yeah, I don't think this is the right person for me, right? Either way, it's important for you and for them to know that up front. Okay. I mean, in a relationship, You want someone that is going to be there for you in good times and in bad times. So that might be what is being asked of you at this moment. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Wow, that was heavy. I felt like a heavy here. Okay. He asked me to relocate, but I'm not ready. Yeah. So you need a little bit of space right now. That makes sense. Okay. Well, good luck to you, my dear. I hope it all works out. Take your time. There's no rush. There is no rush at all. Wow. This worked really, really nicely, this deck. I mean, why am I surprised? It's a love deck. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Beautiful. If I start my own channel for cards or art, I would just show my hands. You know, I did that for a long time, Karen Suki. I think I did that for the first 2 years on my channel. I just did top down. I just did top down. And I was fine with that. And people are fine with that. And then one day I got bold. And I was like, I turned on, I don't even think I used the phone. I think I just recorded on my laptop and I went with it. All right, so give these decks a shuffle. Wa Hassan, thank you for letting me read for you. Appreciate you, friend and friends. Where's my little here? Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I appreciate you. Smooches. Smooches. All right. So, okay. So the next person on the list is Balaj Shah. Balaj Shah. Are you still here? Let me know. Balaj Shah. I wonder if she sees. Oh, Bina Bina. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so let me grab my deck and give this one a shuffle. I did not expect to pull out that love deck, but it worked out really, really great. Okay, Bina Bina is on the list, and Bina made a donation, so we're gonna bump Bina up. So I'm gonna read for Bina first, and then I'll come back and read for Balash Shah, because I like to say thank you for anyone who has made a donation. I appreciate that. I don't often get donations, and so I just want to honor that by bumping you up in the line. So thank you so much. All right. Now, wondering what your hair and skin secret was. Oh, okay. All right. So I use Korean beauty products on my skin. I started to do that 3 years ago, and it made a significant difference, a noticeable, like I could see it with my eyes, the difference. And then I was at the time visiting a dermatologist twice a year. And last year he told me, you do not have to continue to come here twice a year. Whatever you are doing is great. Keep doing that. And so I basically switched to K-Beauty products. And I have a routine that I do in the morning every day. I have a nighttime routine, but I'll be the first to admit that sometimes I'm not as good at my nighttime routine, but my daytime routine, I do it every single day. And it's a bit of a long process, but I do it. I do it. So I'm gonna read for Bina Bina, and then I'll tell you my skincare process. All right. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yes, they make a huge, huge difference. And I'll show you what I use. I don't know if it's a 10-step, but it's pretty close. And I think almost everything I was buying direct from Korea, but I do like almost everything that I use right now, I get through Amazon, but I also have a few shops, uh, maybe about 30 minutes away, where I could go and get some of my products in person too. This necklace is one of my, hands down, one of my favorites, my black obsidian. It's so beautiful. I love this thing. So, so good. And it came like this. It came with a little, a teeny tiny little hole. And I'm like, what am I ever going to get to fit through there? And believe it or not, this is the only necklace that I have that I've been able to feed through there so that I can wear it. Do a video showing the process. A get ready with me. I thought about doing a get ready with me once, but I would have to find a way to incorporate tarot. So I'll think about that. I love that idea, Karen. I'll think about that and maybe I'll do that one of these days. All right. This reading is for Bina Bina, who was very kind and sent over a super. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Will he ever come back, Ahmad? Will he ever come back? Will Ahmad come back? Ooh. You're never going to believe this. Oh my God. All right. I was only trying to pick 3 cards, but more cards came out than wow. This is a powerful reading, Bina Bina. And let's just take a deep breath and process it little by little, okay? So I pulled out a card for you, for your energy. We have the Empress. So the Empress is like that connection to, you know, it's an empathetic person who is a nurturer, a lover of all things. For this person, like, beauty is very important to them. Beautiful connections, beauty in nature. They want to see things grow and transform. They're a lover and they're a giver. Okay, so this is your energy coming through here, the Empress. Then for Ahmed, believe it or not, the Emperor came out, which Empress is number 3, Emperor is number 4. Okay, the reason that I'm not, this is what I'll say. The Emperor came out with the Tower. Okay, the Emperor came out with the Tower. I don't know that this is your person, and because of that, it is making you feel like your world is falling apart. It's crumbling. You're trying to hold on to something that is not in your best interest. And just as a reminder, this is a major arcana. This is a major arcana. This is a major arcana. Okay? That's a lot of big, big energy coming through. I don't think that this person is your person. The Tower. Now, when I asked for a card for advice, I got two cards. Both of them are the element of air, so swords. And you know the element of air is connected to our communication, the way that we think about things, our mindset. And the first card that came out is the Eight of Swords. So there's limiting thought patterns here. There's limiting thought patterns here. And I believe that this is you. I believe that this is you telling yourself, he's the only one for me. And I don't think that that is the case. I think that you're holding yourself back and you're letting your fear crowd. You're here, this Empress energy. You're meant to grow. Look at the green behind her. Green is, think about grass, think about nature, plants. This is an energy that blossoms and grow. You cannot do that if you're living in fear. This is fear. This is anxiety. This is holding yourself back. This is telling you things that you couldn't possibly expect anything else, that he's the only person for you, that you did something wrong. No, you did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. This person is not your person. The other card that came out is the Five of Swords. I'm going to tell you right here. Literally, you see that in this card, she's writing a letter. And the letter says, I am alone. It's that feeling of like I'm completely alone. But you're not. That's a limiting thought. That is something that you're telling yourself that is holding you back. And I know that this is probably not what you were hoping to hear tonight. But I said this earlier to somebody. I always feel like I'm going to come in here with big sis energy. And I'm going to look out for you. And I feel like you could do better. I feel like this guy is not the guy. I feel like the sooner you let this go and you start to work on your own self-worth and release some of these thoughts that are holding you back, that's when you're going to step into your true potential and grow into the person that you're meant to become, to prepare yourself for the right person. You gave him everything. And that's probably why you feel this Tower energy more than anything, like everything is falling apart. This deck is from a movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it before. It's here. Beetlejuice. In the movie, the couple is out for a drive. They go in here. This is a covered bridge. And they crash through the covered bridge. And then the car falls into the water. And they pass away and they become ghosts. That's the whole point of the movie, that they're ghosts. And that's why this is a Tower card. No, he does not regret. His card is the Emperor. The Emperor is confident, bold, strategic. What the Emperor does, he does for a reason. The Emperor does things for a reason. They're very strategic, they're very smart, and they're going to find a way to, they're like the ultimate businessman. So it wasn't a mistake. He did this. It wasn't nice, but he did it. And he doesn't regret that. That's a lot. That's a lot. I wish you all the best, my dear. Hugs to you. I know it's not easy. Heartbreak, getting over a heartbreak is not easy. It's easier said than done. But there's a lesson for you to learn here. And that's that you're stronger than you give yourself credit for. Okay? Good luck to you, my dear. Hugs, hugs. No, he's not coming back, Bina Bina. He's not coming back. Not right now. Unless something major happens. The Emperor, this is the type that I would say, like, they do things for a reason. So if they come back, there's going to be a reason that they come back. They're not just going to come back for sentimental reasons. That's not going to be the case. I don't know. And if they came back, like, I don't know that they would trust them. I don't know that I would trust them. So that's my thought based on what I see in the cards. Good luck to you. Good luck to you, and thank you for letting me read for you on such a sensitive topic. Different religions, yeah. Yeah, they're in your past. He gave up on me for that, yeah. I mean, that happens. Yeah. The intuitive me, you have to do exclamation point TMIM. Is that working? Exclamation point TMIM. Try that one. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right. So thank you so much. Okay. So Balasha, are you still here? Balasha, it is your turn. Balasha, let me know if you are here. Sorry I had to bump you, my dear, but anyone who makes a donation automatically gets bumped to the top of the list. I'm sure you understand. Okay, there you are. Okay, so Balasha's question. Can you tell me about the Cancer zodiac? What change will come in life this year? And when the plans I have for the future will start? Okay, Balasha, who's the Cancer? You or someone else? Bye, Linda. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you. All right, Balasha, let me know, who is the Cancer? Is it you or is somebody else the Cancer? The Cancer is your brother. Okay, why do you want to know about your brother's zodiac? What is your zodiac, Balasha? Cousin, brother. Okay. All right. So I'm going to read for you. Okay. And you wanted to know what changes will come in life this year and when will your plans begin? Cancer is, it's a water sign, and so it's connected to intuition, to emotions. These are people that feel things very deeply. That's the best that I can tell you. You're a Leo, so you're a fire sign, okay? Fire signs tend to be like more action oriented. They're very bold. Oh my goodness, it's 12:30 in the morning. I get you. All right, Create. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It was nice to see you. Leos are like me, me, me. Leos love attention. They like to be center stage. And they want to be seen, they want to be recognized. So it's different energies for sure, both of those signs. All right, changes. When will the plans start? Okay, so I'm gonna ask the cards, what can you expect this year in terms of changes and future plans? You're a Leo. A lot of content creators are Leo. I'm Aries, so I completely understand. I'm a fire energy, fire element, but Desiree says I'm more like Pisces. That's possibly true because I'm in my feelings a lot. All right. So, what message can we give? All right. Okay. So it's interesting the cards that have come out for you. So let's read this together. The first one is the Seven of Wands. Now, usually this is the card of kind of feeling like people are after you or things aren't working out. There's negative energy, a need to kind of protect your viewpoint, protect what you stand in, what you believe in. Maybe a need to create stronger boundaries. Okay, so that's what this card here is all about. And you can see in the image that there's a house that's in the middle of construction, but then you have this here that could at any point destroy or cause structural damage to the house. So I definitely feel this sense like you needing to protect. And if you have plans for a business, that could be it. You might be feeling like you have to protect those plans because perhaps people are either getting in the way or not being supportive of your plans. Or, and that doesn't mean that they are or they're not. It just means that you feel that way. You feel that that's the energy. Okay. The other card that has come out, it's a major arcana card. It is the Justice card. And, some people think about justice as like balance, bringing things into balance. A lot of times you see the scales of justice, you see the sword of truth. Um, for me, this could be the difference between right and wrong. It could be related to karma, right? Getting what you're due. Getting what you're due. And you can see in here, this is a very particular scene in the movie where the food has come to life and it's like smothering her, but she's getting exactly what she deserves because she's treating the house with disrespect. So you have this boundary issue coming up, right? This feeling of needing to protect what you believe in, what you stand for, potentially your business plans. And then there's this issue of karma, of right versus wrong, of putting things back into alignment. The other thing that I think about with this card is that every action has a consequence. Every action has a consequence. So that's something that we have to think about when we're planning our next steps, because it's possible that if we're not careful, that we may choose an action that later on will bring repercussions that we need to deal with. So those are the main energies that are coming through on this reading. Now, in terms of what to do with all of this, right? Because you want to know when are these plans of yours going to start. It seems like there's some heavy energy around the plans, and that could potentially be why there's a delay. So what can we do to get those plans off the ground? You have double page energy coming up. You have the Page of Cups and you have the Page of Pentacles. And we were talking earlier about Cancer, and I told you that Cancer is a water sign and it's connected to intuition and also to our emotions. That's what cups is, right? The cups are connected to the element of water, so it's that connection to emotions. And then Pentacles is connected to the earth. So these are all the things of our world or our life here in the 3D, right? Pentacles or earth energy could be related to your career. It could be related to finances, quite literally. Pentacles, sometimes people call them coins or discs. And it could be that. It could be money. It could be your home, your family unit. It could be connected to your health. So all of those things are earth element. So you have this combination of emotions and of the element of earth, but page on both of them. Now the page is a court card. The page is, of all the energies, is usually the younger energy, right? Like I see page energy as, like, I don't know, elementary, middle school age, like that kind of energy where everything is new and exciting and you want to learn and you want to try things and you can't wait to be a grown up and you can't wait to be able to do things the way that you want, and you are curious, you want to explore, you want to learn, you want to do all the things, maybe all the things that everybody else is doing, you want to be able to do them too. So that's kind of like that page energy. The thing about page energy is it could be a little naive at times because you don't really have all the facts. You don't really have that wisdom or the experience to be able to do some of the things that you're hoping to do. But the nice side of the page energy is that they're very creative and they're not afraid. Like they're not afraid to go and try things and see how it works out. And maybe I'll do it like this, or maybe I'll try that, or maybe I'll go here, there, everywhere. Page of Cups is connected to emotions. So, you might express emotions freely, right? Without even thinking about, like choosing your words carefully and all the things. You might just be like, you pissed me off, and just say it without thinking about the repercussions of saying such a thing. Or I love you. You might blurt that out without even thinking about, like, well, that wasn't cool. I should have taken my time, or I should have planned it out how I was going to say. No, page energy just does it, right? Same thing, Page of Pentacles. It's like when you're starting, in this case, this is a work question, right? So you're asking about your plans for the future and will they start? Well, the page energy just, page of all the and of all the elements, the Pentacles or the earth suit is the slowest, right? This is the energy that wants to take their time and do things correct, and they are not afraid to take extra time to cut back on social activities so that they could have more time to get the coin, right? They're all about making the dough. They want to, they're very meticulous, they're very grounded. They are the type of people, they don't want to cut corners. They want to do everything just right because they believe that if they stay on course, they are going to reach their goals and everything is going to be worth it in the end, right? This would be the energy that while everybody else is out partying, having a good time, they're working at doing their thing, right? So you have that energy coming through in this reading. And so when you look at this whole thing all together, your question is, what changes are going to come into my life this year? And when will the plans that I have for the future start? Well, right now it feels very heavy, right? You had this Seven of Wands, very, this need to kind of protect. It's like you have your business is like your baby, right? You're pouring all your energy into it and you want it to be perfect and you want to protect it so you can watch it grow and develop and turn into something big, right? So right now you're feeling like you want to protect that energy. But then you had, this is a major arcana card, Justice coming through. There's this it's like this overhanging energy of something is off. Something is off, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be here asking this question. Something is off and something doesn't feel right. And it's always important to listen to your gut when it comes to these things. Something doesn't feel right. So then you have this page energy coming through. So maybe what this is saying is that right now is a good time to continue learning about what you're trying to do, getting information, getting to know the players, right? Ooh, no pun intended. Getting to know the players, getting to know, getting more comfortable with the game plan, understanding your plans. Maybe with these page energy, you might need to flesh out your plans a little bit more. Maybe it's not the right time just yet. It seems like you have to kind of cultivate it a little bit more before it's actually ready to take to the next step, to the go phase. I don't know that you're ready for the go phase right now. All right. So I'm going to pause there and you can let me know, Balaj Shah, if that makes sense for you. Ooh. All right. That was good. That was heavy. So let me have a sip. And Chris is back and Chris has a question. Okay. I'll read for you, Chris. I will read for you. Here's my deck. Okay. And then thank you, Desiree. Can we give props to my Desiree who's helping me today behind the scenes? She is the one that makes sure to get everybody's questions. She puts them in the document. She tracks when I do them. She keeps everybody sorted and in order. And I couldn't do what I do without her love. So thank you so, so much. Aww. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. Thank you, Chris. Aww. You guys. Love that. Yes. Shout out to our mods. That's right. Because you know what? Like, last week was intense. And I don't know. I maybe people have been coming into the chat. I'm not sure. I haven't even seen, any, like, out of control comments. So yes, thank you to everyone. So thank you to my mod extraordinaire. Thank you to all my mods. And thank you to you all in the chat as well for hanging out with me and sharing space. And I look forward to Fridays and coming and hanging out and doing all these things. And I think about it like, ooh, what can we do? What can we talk about? What would be fun? So for me, it's a lot of fun, and it wouldn't be fun without you. Like if nobody showed up and it was just me, like it wouldn't be the same. Angela May Hookings, how are you? It's good to see you. Thank you, thank you. There. I saw something the other day. I can't remember if it was a post. No, it was a short or a reel. Anyway, she was talking about the proper way to pray. And she said, you always come into your body, right? So however you do that, for me, it's like a deep breath. Step into your body. And then part 2 was start with gratitude. And then part 3, you put your petitions and your intentions out there. And then part 4, and the most important part, is to be silent and listen. Listen to see what comes through for you when you say what you need to say. And I love that so, so much. That is so good. I love that. I want for this year, 2026, we're wrapping up the year of the snake and we're moving into the year of the fire horse. And, we were yin snake, feminine energy, moving to fire horse, right? Masculine energy. This is a time for action, for change, for things to happen for us. So I hope very much that all of us are finding ways to put our thoughts out there. We have to protect our mind, right? Anything incoming thoughts, what we watch, what we listen to, we have to guard our mind. And then make sure that you're putting your petitions out there and that you're taking time to connect, to meditate, to, sit in stillness so that you can make your dreams come true. I want all of us to be able to accomplish the things that we want. All right. So, Chris, any lingering dense energies? How can I keep putting my best foot forward? Best foot forward. Okay. All right, here we go. Wow, we've been live for almost 3 hours. What? Yes. That's crazy. Time goes by quick. Time flies. All right. So then I think, beautiful people, I'm going to read for Chris and then for Angela May. And I think that we could, you started early today. I know I did. I started a little early today. You know why? Because I took the day off today. So I started a little early. Okay. Message for Chris. Ooh. Ooh. Well, that just came out, Chris. So we're going to count that. We're going to count that. What in the world? Oh, I'm like, why don't I understand what this card is? I get it. All right, Chris. This is for you, my dear. So your question was, any lingering dense energies around? How can I keep putting my best foot forward? Okay. You have the Fool coming up. Full energy. And I love this for you because I really feel like you've been doing this so much ever since you restarted your channel. I see you taking a lot of risks and putting yourself out there. You're not afraid to be yourself. And I love that so much for you. So, how can you put your best foot forward? I feel like continue to be open and receptive to taking chances, trying new things, and putting yourself out there, regardless of what people think or say. Because I feel like when you show up and you're authentic, like energy finds like energy, right? And when you're putting yourself out there and you're authentic, you're going to naturally grow as a person, as a healer, as a card reader, as a content creator. It's just natural because you're coming from an honest place in your heart. So you have that energy. Then you're asking about dense energies around. You have the Five of Cups. Now, this particular card, right? I don't know if you remember the movie. This is where she first realizes that they're dead. And she's showing him in the mirror that she is moving the horse in front of the mirror, but there's no reflection. All you see is the horse. You cannot see her or him. And so this is when they first realize that they're no longer in the present, right? In the here and now. They've crossed over. And that could be shocking and jarring as they try to figure things out. And I would say that you're probably feeling a little bit of this energy, like you're in this in between stage. And there's part of you that's missing something that you had before, but there's this other part of you that's curious about what's on the other side, but you're kind of in that middle ground. And it could be a period of a little bit of confusion, but also like overwhelm, right? Sometimes our feelings can get overwhelming in these moments. And then the final card for you, and I love this, the Nine of Pentacles. 1x, that's 9. The Nine of Pentacles. This is where Beetlejuice is in he's living in the little like miniature, and he's kind of underground, and he's offering that Zagnut bar, and he's holding up the chocolate bar, and he's like, "Hey, look at me, come here." And he's trying to get attention to himself by luring people over to him. And for some reason, I feel like this card is important. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to whip out this beast, the guidebook, and see what this says. So let me get to Pentacles. I feel like you remember in the olden days when there was no GPS and you had to get the atlas out and then figure it out. Figure out where you were, and you would argue about which way to go and what to do. And so hold on. So we have the 9 Pentacles down here. I'm going to read this to you because I feel like this might be important. Hold on. All right. So, Chris, I'm going to give you a recap real quick. Okay, Chris? You're getting the Fool card. And this is encouraging you to continue to take calculated risks. with what you're doing. It's working well for you, and you should continue doing that. You could kind of think about it that way. This is something that you could continue doing. The Five of Cups, something that you could stop doing, right? Stop looking back. Stop letting emotions get in the way, right? And then we have this Nine of Pentacles. When the Nine of Pentacles appears in your reading, it is time to indulge in something good for you. Isn't that beautiful? I'm going to tell you that one more time, Chris. When this Nine of Pentacles comes out, it is time to indulge in something that is good for you. Okay? This is an invitation to splurge. Get your favorite chocolate bar. I'm going to show you here. Get your favorite chocolate bar or a savory snack. Plan a little trip. Admire the world around you. You haven't quite reached your ultimate goal yet, but stopping to smell the Zagnut will shore you up for the last push. In other words, you're getting very close to the things that you're trying to do. Now's the time to kind of pause and I know you do this already, like express gratitude for where you are and celebrate that. Celebrate that achievement, celebrate the accomplishment because you're getting close to the things that you are trying to do. When they say Zagnut, they're talking about that chocolate bar, right? This is your last push. So love ending this reading for you with that Nine of Pentacles. So your question was, are there lingering dense energies around? I don't know that there's lingering dense energies, but I think there's leftover emotions from when that was a situation for you. I do feel like in past you may have dealt with things like that, and there could be residual feelings about that. And I feel like that's what's coming up in this reading. I don't know that there's fresh energy that you should be worried about at this point in time. I feel like this reading is all about, yes, continue doing new things, but also celebrate where you are. And this Five of Cups, I think that is related to any leftover feelings that may have come up the last time that you were dealing with these weird energies. Let me know if that makes sense for you, Chris. Always keep a bar of dark chocolate nearby. That's right. Me too. I'm not kidding. I got my Ghirardelli sea salt and caramel right here. In case of emergency, break glass. All right. Let me know. Desi agrees with Karen. Mesoamericans made chocolate. I love that. Yes, dry and humidity makes a big difference. I concur. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Chris, let me know what you make of all that. I wondered if I had let that Five of Cups do its work. I noted the black shroud was the mirror. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. It's the mirror. And like what they were trying to accomplish in terms of in the artwork in here, it's really hard. But like I get it because I literally I watched the movie today before going live because I wanted to make sure that I connected the artwork to the scenes in order to see if they made sense or not. I feel like they did a really nice job with this deck. And I was really fortunate because they put this deck on sale, and I want to say the price dropped to $13, 12 or $13, and then I had some points, so I applied it and I ended up paying $5 for the deck, which is fantastic, in my opinion. It's hard to get a $5 deck. So, yeah. Happy to read for you, Chris, and thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate you, friend. $5. Yeah, it was a great steal. It was this one, and there was another one that was also a great steal. But that one was one of the decks where it was the Hocus Pocus deck. But there were a lot of pips in that deck. They did not put the work or the effort into the cards the way they did with Beetlejuice. This deck was on another level. Even though truth be told, I was looking for the Hocus Pocus because I love all the colors in there. But this deck was really well done, and I went with this one instead. Okay, so that was for Chris. And I have Angela May Hookings. Any good news coming? Okay, Angela, I will read for you next. Any good news? Let's see. All right, Angela May. Angela May. I'm going to shuffle the deck. And we'll see what comes through. Whoa. It feels, I don't know why, even though it's super thick and uncomfortable, it shuffles so well. Gosh, I'm going to see if I could show you real quick. I don't know how to bridge. This deck is too fat for bridging, I think, for me. My fingers are not strong enough. But, like, so you could see, look at how well. Like, it's almost identical. Like, it's almost perfect. It shuffles really well. I love Chris's readings because I feel like there's something for everyone, and he tries really hard to incorporate like all the signs, just like Constance. She does that too on her readings, and I think people really appreciate that. Oh, this shuffle is amazing. I just wish I knew how to, like, if I could riffle, that would be awesome. But this feels like it could do it. And this is like literally the first time that I use it. So I think with time, this cardstock is going to do what I want it to do. That's why I smile when the same card comes out multiple times. There's a few cards that came out a few times tonight. And I know that it's not lack of shuffling because I shuffle the cards pretty well. The sound is amazing too. When you start like loving the way a deck smells or the way it sounds or the way it feels in your hand, then you know there's a situation. Karen Suki. All right. Excuse me, is New York Deb still here? We were never able to email each other. I emailed her twice. She emailed me. It didn't go through. So now I have to try to find cloves, cigarettes somewhere out there in the universe. There must be a clove cigarette for me. She left. Okay. It's 8:04. I'm like, oh, she left to Truth Wave. No, but it's 8:04. Truth Wave starts. We got another like hour or two. I know. I thought that was weird. Like, how could it be that her message doesn't come to me and my message doesn't go to her either? They have them at the computer. You keep saying that, but I did a search and I couldn't find them. There were like a couple of shops out in the Orlando area that offered them, but nothing local. All right. Desiree, Everybody has to have something that they could do every now and again. What the heck? Roll your... Ooh! I pulled one card for you. Angela May Hookings. You have wine. Wah, wah. Okay. So, this is, look what you have. The Nine of Cups. I don't know if you ever saw this movie before, but you know, this is the father. This is Mr. Dietz. And he buys the house because he has had a nervous breakdown at work, and he just needed to simplify his life a little bit. And so he decides to leave the corporate world and come out to the country. Okay. And he gets there and he falls in love with the house as it is, but his wife is obsessed with redoing the house. And she has very eclectic, artistic tastes. And so he convinces her, could you just please leave the den as it is? And he finds his peace in there. And he finds books and all kinds of things that are like, he in essence kept everything of the original guy that was living there. And he likes it there. He finds his peace there. It's like his happy spot. So look what you have. You have the Nine of Cups. And that's what I'm describing to you is the scene from the movie to help convey what that card actually means for you. Let me get my accordion out again and I'll read to you what it says. Get my accordion. As much as I'm complaining about this, I tend to find the cards pretty quickly in this book. Okay. Nine of Cups. So I'm going to show it to you here. And it says, the Nine of Cups symbolizes being perfectly at ease. Like Charles in his new home, you may have struggled to reach a place of peace, but your efforts have paid off and you can fully enjoy this stage of your life. Now, Miss Angela May, I know that you currently desire to be closer to your son. And I know that you struggle with your nosy ass neighbors. So it's very possible that this is not your situation right now, but this could be kind of foreshadowing what's going to be in your future. Either way, it's good tidings. I feel like this could be the news that you are looking for, anticipating, what you've been praying about. That is my message for you, Angela May. Bye, Chris. Thank you for letting me read for you. Illegally sold. What? Cloves in cigarettes. Beautiful. Okay. I'm happy that I could be here for you to support you. And I believe we are at the end of the list. You know what I was going to tell you? You know how, like, lately in my lives, I've been carrying on about YouTube and the app has been shutting down in the middle of my lives, and it's like, distressing, right? Sometimes I'm in the middle of a reading and then I look up and my screen is dark and I realize that my YouTube app shut down. So today, this has been going on for a few weeks. Today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a page out of Bill's book and I'm going to reboot my phone before I start. And I did. And guess what? I had no issues today. So maybe there is some truth in rebooting your device so that you don't have technical challenges later on. That was amazing. Well, my beautiful souls, good gal, so needed to hear, sweet, needed that confidence. Perfect. I'm so happy for you, Angela May. You certainly are a person that has dealt with a lot of nonsense. So I hope you have your moment to shine. All right, my beautiful people. Then I think that's all we have. We got everybody that was waiting. Thank you so much. Super happy to share this beautiful deck with you. This was a lot of fun. I love this deck, and I definitely feel like I could use this all year round. It's a great little reader, the Beetlejuice deck, and I got it at a steal, quite honestly. A steal. So thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you, Desiree. Thank you to everyone in the chat that helps with modding, with loving and supporting each other and keeping this a safe space for everyone. I feel like that's super important. So thank you. And I will see you next time. Bye.